Hi guys, I'm Jason. I'm the producer for Head Games, a student game team based out in Redmond, Washington. Now, as the team's producer every week, I'm writing status reports based on everything from what the team's accomplished, what we haven't accomplished, where we were successful, where we failed, schedules, risk and mitigations, playtesters' feedback, bug logs, all sorts of stuff. And all that information is important for the team to have in terms of where we've been and where we'd like to go in the future, but it's very specific, it's very metrics heavy, and I'm not sure it is the right information to convey the actual development of our game at a higher level for someone who's not on the team and might be interested in the workings of how we actually make a game. So that's what these vlogs are for. I'm trying to kind of give you all a glimpse into actually how our team functions and how we actually, the process in making a game and how we actually go about that. I started it with our past project, Robin Hook, in which I would write a blog and tell where we were, where we are, and where we'd like to go in the future. And I think that was a step in the right direction. But as a general rule, I always think it's better to show rather than simply tell. And that's what I'd like to do with these. I'm hoping to actually get some of the devs in here and show and demo some of the stuff they've been working on, because it's pretty impressive. I know, for instance, Stefan has been working really hard on his physics engine. That's really cool, and I'd like him to get him in here and actually show that off and talk about some of the development process and how he went about implementing it. Same with Andrew and his game engine that he's been building, and he's our tech director in charge of our core architecture, and some of the stuff that he's been doing has been quite impressive as well. I also think it's a great way to stay in touch with the community in terms of our design philosophy and how we go about creating games. It's based very heavily on playtesters' feedback and community feedback. In our past project, what we would do is we would have a build, playtest that build, compile all the playtesters' feedback, and have a big meeting the following day in which we would say, okay, this is what everybody thought. Where are we going to go from here? And then we would design our game based on that feedback. And we would do that once a week. We'd like to continue that this year in terms of developing our next project. And we've started doing that already. Even though we don't have a game per se, we've already been playtesting our mechanics and, just seeing if our game's fun, engaging, that sort of thing. We think it's better to find that out now before 5 months down the road. And, everybody on the team thinks, oh, we have this cool mechanic, everybody will love it. And then find out everybody hates it. So, playtest every week. If we're not playtesting a new build every week, we're doing something wrong. In terms of our current game, over the summer, Ben, one of our team members, came and said, I have this really cool idea about this bag of wind where you can suck stuff in, blow stuff out, and maybe we could use that mechanic for some sort of physics-based platformer. And everyone on the team said, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Let's try implementing that. So from the summer up until this point, that's what we've been working on. We've been working on getting our systems in place, building the game engine, building our physics engine, all sorts of stuff, and just testing this one mechanic out. We prototyped it, seeing if people like it. But up until this point, we didn't really have a clear vision of what our game was going to be. We kind of thought, okay, we're going to have this bag of wind and this guy running around with it, and we're going to have 3D platformer with action elements and puzzle elements, and you're going to do physics stuff, and it's going to be fun, and just lots of gray area, lots of hazy. We don't really know what's going to happen. But the past 2 weeks, we were thinking, okay, well, we gotta kind of have this clear, definite path that we're gonna have to go down up in this point. We have our prototype going. We know we can implement this, but where's our game gonna go? So we've been floating ideas around from, should we stay with this idea of this guy with a bag of wind? And up until this point, our project had been called Aeolus, for all you Greek buffs out there, with this Aeolus' bag of wind idea. Or we thought, okay, well, maybe you could be a cloud and you could float around and cause hurricanes and do physics stuff based that way. We just had a couple ideas, bouncing back and forth, did some research, and finally we stuck with our final idea, which was, are you ready for it? Playing as a big bad wolf. Now, this is actually kind of a retelling of the story. You're not necessarily bad. You're still big, but you're not bad. So let me tell you a little bit about it. You play as a wolf, a carefree, peaceful canine who spends his days relaxing in his wildflower meadows, you find yourself confronted by the tyrannical imperialist pigs who want to destroy your meadow in order to expand their empire and erect their straw, wood, and brick homes. It's up to you to confront this encroaching menace and lead their revolution against the pig empire. So that's pretty much our vision for this game at this point. You're still going to have the same mechanics. You're still going to be able to suck stuff in and blow stuff out and, knock everything down you want, except brick houses. You can't knock brick houses down. Everybody knows that. But yeah, I mean, we think it's going to be fun. We've been playtesting it. One of the cool things about wolf folklore is as we were doing research and actually reading about it, a lot of times people would be eaten by the wolf. And then, unfortunately, at the end of the story, the wolf gets killed, and then they cut the wolf open, and the people just pop right back out, whole and not hurt, not chewed up. They're just fine. They've just been eaten by a wolf. And so we figure, okay, well, let's implement that. So you can actually swallow stuff whole and then just spit it right back out, kind of with that folklore in mind. And we also have some other cool ideas floating around that we're going to implement with this game. I guess I'll save those for later vlogs. I don't want these to be too long, but I promise I'll update these once a week at least. More information about the game team, the game, past projects, all that, I'll post a link to our website in the info box below. So if you're interested, look at that. I should have a new game build up on the website this week, so you can playtest that. We love playtest feedback. More feedback, the better. Even if you hate it, let us know. Say, this is the worst game ever. You should stop now. What are you thinking? Let us know. Yeah, and that's it. Hopefully, you all will follow along. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to send them to us. The email I'll post in the info box below as well. And thanks for watching. Bye.